Hello, welcome back. Last time I finished Duplication Desert, which was a real treat. Today the one that's caught my eye for whatever reason is Custom Weapons Redux. Let's go here, by Mauve Butterfly. Sometimes you need to make use of less conventional weaponry. Unfortunately, this is one of those times. Hold on. I think I know what this is. Custom weapons, not like... Okay, there was probably a weird cut there, because when I entered this, a beta hold notification came up, and just in case the hold author doesn't want their hold name identified, I should probably just leave it out of here. Okay, right, so custom weapons. Yeah, not like, you know, spear, pickaxe and stuff. This is, right, okay, so like these will be the briar seeds, I think. Rockets. Yeah, okay, so none of you saw me. Yeah, the net. And what is this, like, set down fire traps or something? None of you saw me play the hold that contained these. Unable to place additional fire traps. Yeah, okay, right. Alright, well, I've wandered over here. Placing fire traps. Special command to place one of your fire traps. All fire traps have been placed. Yeah, so all of these things were involved in the custom element compilation that happened a while back. Again, kinda wish I had LP'd that because this has a surprising amount of references to it. What was the other one? Yeah, Duplication Desert that I just did. The duplicator was an element from there. All these weapons are too. They didn't have these fancy tokens back then though, but I do recognize what all these are. Right, okay. Special command places a fire trap. Then once you've placed them all, press it again to turn them on. This was 7 Brain Island, right? Okay, so I should expect this to be hard. Number remaining in the bottom left. Right, so fire traps only activate until one monster dies on a turn. Okay, using my sword also deactivates them. Alright. Fire trap counter first appeared custom element contest. Right, fire, disoriented. Wait, that was disoriented? Oh. Really? No. I was so sure that that was Hyper Me. Okay, I remembered the architect for that wrong. Switching weapons, unable to place additional fire traps. Wait, switching weapons. If you have switched weapons, fire traps will still turn off when an enemy is killed. What? I don't know what you mean. Okay, so that's my fire trap count, so I can place... Oh, I can place one on top of another. Okay, so that's good to know. And then I press the button again to turn them on. And, you know, these are real fire traps. They'll kill me. So, what were you saying about, like, okay, so I place that, then I switch, then I press, and it doesn't activate. But I have this, and then I can activate. Let me read that again. You'll be unable to place additional fire traps or turn the traps on if you have switched weapons. Fire traps will still turn off when an enemy is killed, regardless of which weapon you have active. Okay, got it. So basically just like special command stops working if this is not my active weapon token. Yeah, and this is not a real token. This is... You have to do scripting trickery to make it look like this is a weapon token. It doesn't make the shh noise that it usually does when you step on one of those. Okay, so, anyway, that's a Conquer token. Ortho Square Fire Trap. Okay, so, and then these. What's this? So I get one fire trap. Can I push these? Yeah. Okay, so the implication being that I want these to ignite and... to blow up so that they can ignite this. I'm going to place a fire trap somewhere on this line of fuse. And then, that's not quite true. What I'm going to do is put it under this, I think. So if I put the fire trap there, place the powder keg there, this is perhaps the correct order? Let's find out. So if I blow that up, this fire trap is active. This is going to turn those off so that I can leave this square, and this is going to turn off the fire trap so I can step there in the first place. Okay, so order doesn't matter. So both fuses are lit. This pressure plate goes away so I can step there, but I can't yet. And there we go. Okay. That's a puzzle solved. Okay, so other weapons too, huh? High health. This is briar seeds, right? Health will leave the room once the green doors are down. Challenge. Clear the room and exit without ever opening the door next to health. Health leaving was a change made during testing to make the room easier. What? What are you talking about? Hold on, I need to go somewhere else. Before I go and play with those, what I think are briar seeds, let me go see how they, I assumed these would just each be their own sections with only that weapon, but they're going to be mixed, apparently. Briar seeds. Special command, place a briar root and force arrow in front of you. The force arrow faces away from you, preventing briar growth from immediately killing you. So I can, like, place that there. Wow, that goes real quick. Force arrow west. And then I have to step away, and now there's just a briar there. If I want to be crafty, let's say I were here. So there's a briar with an arrow, then a briar with an arrow, then a briar with an arrow. Even though I have like 3 briar roots here, I've also blocked that off with force arrows, so that those will never grow beyond there. So I can create like walls of force arrows with this tool. It's very, very powerful for that. But I have to deal with also creating briars at the same time. It's complicated. Mauve Butterfly was the one who originally created this element. I think these others were by other architects. First appeared in the custom element contest. Horticulturalist's headache. Mauve Butterfly, right. Switching to another weapon will have no effect on briar roots or force arrows that have been placed. Yeah, because those are not custom elements. Just the manner of placing them is. Alright, let's read all these. You getting all this? I would not be if I had not already used these before in another hold. Rocket launcher. Special command launches a rocket. Move 1 tile each turn and move before monsters. Rockets explode on impact. Kinda like exploding darts, basically. First appeared in custom element contest. This one was Hyper Me, really? Huh, okay. Switching to another weapon has no effect on rockets. Okay, so rockets... Whoa, that was... Where did that rocket launcher come from? It zoomed in from somewhere. Right into Bithro's hand. I think there's a custom character on top of him and it just got teleported. Yeah, so these actually keep my facing as if I'm holding a sword. So it's different from the usual disarmed mode. Whoa, that's not what they looked like before. Oh man, they make... Isn't there a way to make only one of those explosions make a noise and not all of them? Ugh. Okay, so very loud explosion noises. And you know, I can make as many as I want. I can bump into them, so they're solid to me. That's interesting. Okay, good to know. And the net. Special command catches the monster in front of me. Right, that's what this slot is for. That's where the monster that's netted goes. Special command again to release it. Captured monsters must be released and killed to clear the room. Currently captured monsters shown on the bottom left. Net benefits by Disoriented and Crimson Moon? Now wait a minute. I thought this was Lucky Luke. How do I have my architects this wrong? No, this was not... What? I'm gonna have to check this afterward. I mean, I trust this information more than I trust my memory of events from a year ago, but this very much disagrees with my memory of events from a year ago. Switching to another weapon will prevent you from placing monsters you have captured until you switch back to the net. Makes sense. There are no monsters here, so I can't demonstrate that. Okay, so anyway, just needed to cover briar seeds. Ouch! So I can do so I can do this. Right. Okay. Health something. Okay, so what was this about health? Clear the room and exit without ever opening the door next to health. You must mean this one. So that would be like a briar control challenge of sorts. Health will leave the room once the green doors are down. So... What? Hang on, okay, so this pressure plate deactivates these force arrows so that if Bithro were to step here, he could get back out again. Bithro stepping here will open those doors so the guard can be accessed, and that's the only thing that does that. These tiles are hot. Therefore, briar cannot grow over them. There's more than one column of hot tiles, so therefore I can't just like overwrite them with force arrows and have briars make it anyway. Like if I wanted to do that, I can kind of do it, but not. Oh. Okay, so briar seeds just completely fail to place entirely on hot tiles. They don't overwrite. I'll bet they don't overwrite.
No, that hurt.
Okay, no, of course, they don't overwrite the floor below them, they place on the force arrow layer, right, so it wouldn't remove this stuff. Anyway, that kills health if any of those are ever pressed. So that's a reason why I would not want briars to grow out of control or that guard to step in a place like that. Now there's also this. I can have 5 fire traps. So guards see fire traps as solid obstacles because they work, well, active fire traps at least, because they work like a brained monster. They are a brained monster pretty much. So I think... so I don't have 6 fire traps, I only have 5. Let me just verify something, make sure what I'm saying is correct. If I step here... oh, hold on. I need to do something first. Let's activate those fire traps. So now I have briar seeds. I don't know what to do with the briar seeds yet. I could maybe place some here. So the guard should not step there because this is not a brain path to be throw. Yeah. However, is this shorter than this? It's the same, and he will prefer this way. Yeah. So that's not the way to do this, but hold on. What does... So the guard has to die for Bithra to be released from this. That's how it goes. Okay. So a few ways I could see this happening. I do like the idea of using fire traps to block this off. A theory... I can have briars sort of slowly growing... Okay, so let me, oops. Oh, I think I'm starting to understand what this challenge is about. Clear the room and exit without ever opening the door next to health. Okay, so don't let the... I see. So here's the non-challenge way to do this room, if I've interpreted this correctly. So activate that. I'm going to use some briars to kill this guard by placing them, I don't know, here? And maybe here. Let me, I don't want them to grow too fast, but I think I do want to use that technique that I showed a moment ago. One of these, one of those, and one of those. Those are growing way too fast. So the fire traps help keep them controlled. Oh, but also the guard... Okay, so since the guard's not moving, he's not going to walk into the briars, and they'll just end up killing health. Okay, so that didn't work. Oh, because these are not real tokens, the briars can just grow right under them. A normal weapon token would have been destroyed by growing briar. Okay, this is complicated. This is why this is on 7 Brain Island. This is not simple. The fact that I can place 5 fire traps anywhere in the room makes this very open-ended. Like, those seemed like semi-obvious places, but I'm not so sure about them at this point. And those go directly under me, so I can't... While I think I can replace pressure plates with them, I can't actually demonstrate here, but... I don't suppose... No, they don't do anything to the force arrow layer, of course. Let's see, I'm trying to think of trickery I could use for this, but I don't see any. Okay, so to do it without trickery. So the challenge solution involves never allowing any of these to be pressed. I have only 5 fire traps. I can maybe do something with briar force arrows. I would like the path from the guard to me to remain open. So I can't go up here and mess with stuff. If I want briars planted anywhere that they're going to grow into the guards area, then they're in danger of, at the very least, activating these pressure plates from the back. I can prevent it from the front by placing fire traps. Okay, so if the guard's coming to me, I guess here's a simple way to do this. That's not going to work. So I was thinking I could place a fire trap in a place that he's going to step and turn it on when he steps over it. But the problem is they all turn on at once. And if I want to block these paths, then I have to already have the fire traps that the guard is walking over turned on. Okay. And the things that I was trying before, having the guard come over this way, get killed by briar along the way, would involve having this hallway blocked by briars, so Bithra would by necessity be walking over this pressure plate on the way back, and failing the challenge. Ever opening the door next to health, yeah, so never let that happen. I don't have to do the challenge solution yet. I can't currently see a way to do either the challenge or a non-challenge solution. So there's something different I need to do with fire trap and or briar placement. How will this guard die? I'm not going to stab him. Well, okay, so I could stab him, maybe, if I could find a way to do that. He could die on these hot tiles, he could be overgrown by briars, and he could be unbrained and walk into a fire trap. When he comes out, I'm going to be down here, and the only things I could influence would be to activate fire traps or place briar seeds in a place it wouldn't even matter. Because, you know, I can go down here, step on this, and then if I wanted, I could plant a briar... I could plant a... Oh, I can't plant a briar there. So apparently they don't plant on if there's already a force arrow. Alright, so there are a bunch of exceptions for where briar seeds can be placed and where they can't. They can go on pressure plates. They cannot go on pressure plates with force arrows. They cannot go on hot tiles, okay? Is there anything I can do with the fire traps other than path blocking? And is there any useful path blocking other than this? If I've used 3 here to ensure that he walks through the door, which is the only way he can walk without this happening. Oh. Okay, so I'm imagining, what if I could somehow use briars to narrow one of these hallways in such a way that an active fire trap would block it off. Guard would become okay, so here's the problem. If, again, let's go back to how I'm going to kill this guard. Yeah, I could make him die on those hot tiles. That would take him a while to get over here, and this would have to be the most appealing path to me. Which seems unlikely unless I've done some things I don't want to do. If he were to die in a fire trap, he would have to be unbrained, or the fire trap would have to be off before he stepped on it. And if I'm blocking these, the fire traps have to be on, so he'd have to be unbrained. But if I'm blocking these, then he has to be brained for getting through here. So I can maybe break his brainedness with briar growth at some point. That seems hard to time. Tell me something. If I would put a fire trap here and grow briars in a place like... okay, so fire traps on, please. Ouch. If briars were growing here, then yes, they do grow through there, of course. I think that would be false if that's a pit. I'm not totally sure about hot tiles. I think hot tiles also prevent diagonal growth across places like that. That seems right. Okay, briars are a real complicated element anyway. Okay, can I use briars to block these paths? I don't think so, not without pressing these plates. Boy, this room's complicated. I mean, as soon as I see the trick, it's going to become simple, but I haven't seen the trick yet. No, there's no way I can block these with briars without having the briars continue growing in here, or having Beethroat trapped in here with them. Okay. So I've gone down a lot of dead ends. One of these dead ends will stop being a dead end, and I'll actually get to a solution. I can't grow briars onto this plate. If I tried to, well, a couple of things. If I tried to place briars without stepping on these, I'd be standing on hot tiles and I would die. Also, I can't plant briars there because the force arrows already exist. Okay. I have 5 fire traps, so I can't just, like, block this off, because that leaves me 1 short. That's 5 already, and I don't have a 6th to place there. However, let's go back to entertaining the idea of blocking this hallway using briars. But then what would I do with the other fire traps? I don't know yet. If I'm doing that, then the guard's just pathing toward Beethrow, remaining brained, and what? So I'm pretty confident in this. This just seems like a great idea. Place 3 fire traps there. Makes a lot of sense. But then what? Then I need some amazing plan to use 2 more fire traps and some number of briar seeds. I think I get infinite briar seeds. I can just place as many of those as I want. 2 more fire traps to somehow route the briars or route the guard or kill the guard. Somehow, this is nuts. Like, what? Why is this giving me so much trouble? Because it's so open-ended. I have 2 separate tools that I can place anywhere in the room. One of them is limited in number, one of them is not. And I have a lot of things I need to avoid doing. One very specific thing I need to do from really far away. There may be a component of timing, because briars will grow if I place them somewhere. Somewhere that they're gonna... if I... Good grief. Hang on, idea. Can I place a fire trap on a hot tile? No. It's disallowed. Okay, good to know. So no overwriting that with fire traps to make it safe to step on. Alright? See, and now I'm just trying to, like, cheat the puzzle, do weird cheeky things to get around the constraints that I see. The contest entry for the custom element compilation used a lot of things like that, where you'd, like, place fire traps to carve up a platform into a different shape or things like that as part of the puzzle solution. I shouldn't assume just because it's the same element that the same sorts of things will be done with it here. Oh, hey, here's an idea. No, it's not a good one. I was thinking I could maybe route the guard differently like this. But he still steps here, where this path is more appealing than that one. And also, I mean, like, I haven't done anything to block those. Okay. So, briars. What can I do with a briar? If I put one here, it's just going to grow backwards. Like, there might be some amazing way to time this. You stopped moving entirely. That's interesting. I would figure at this point you'd be unbrained and you'd walk there. Why have you stopped? I mean, you're gonna die next time the briars grow.
Ow, that hurt.
Half takes his time to leave. What went clunk? Oh, the clunk was the fire traps turning off.
Hey,
Okay, so if Half had left 1 turn quicker, he might have been okay. So what if I placed this here? for a non-challenge solution. Oh, that did get killed. It just took it an extra turn. Ah, okay, see, they blocked that off too quick. That's the problem with that. But that's where I placed them last time, and it wasn't right. So if I have one more turn for that, well, then why don't I just wait a turn before I step here? Because then, with that one extra wait, then the briars should grow exactly... Okay, so he sees those as walls, even when he's unbrained. That's interesting. That's different from other monsters. So an unbrained guard still treats fire traps as obstacles. He remains smart enough to know that they're dangerous. Alright, so I want to wait... How many turns after this? 1, 2, 3? No. No, I need to be one quicker, not slower. Well, then what if it was here? If it was here, how does that timing line up? So it's already done that and killed health. The annoying thing about health dying here is it's a failure condition that doesn't let me continue and keep experimenting. It just stops me dead. I can't input any more moves after health dies. Okay, so these two are not really doing anything for me. I could use them to control briar growth down here. That seems plausible. So what if I were to do that? So those are on. I'm going to do something similar to what I was doing. I'm going to just place that there. And try and get the guard to walk into it. His path's about to break, and he turns around. So, let's put this farther back. This feels very, very wrong as a solution. Like, I should not be having to fiddle around with, like, the exact time at which I place the briars. Okay, that worked. Health's gonna leave. Thanks, Unk. And I get the non-challenge solution. Okay, so I solved the room. Okay, so how about that challenge? I solved the room. That felt extremely wrong as a way to solve the room, and also didn't get me the challenge. So I think there's an easier way to do this, and also another different, also probably easier than that way that gets the challenge. I could start looking at demos. Let me think just a little bit about modifications to this. So I used the briars as the way to kill the guard. Is there anything meaningful I could block off with the briars? So if I wanted to... Okay, so this trick does that. It seems very bad because it opens up all of those and I don't have enough fire traps to prevent that. But I could. Okay, so... Well, but then that's going to block the exit, and that's not what I want. And that briar growth never stops. Like, those just keep on going. Forever. Yeah, so keeping briar contained is pretty hard to do. Like, yeah, the only real technique I know for it is just this one. So I make a wall of 3 with the force arrows. They stay contained like that. This looks like a real appealing spot to do it, if not for the fact that it breaks the guard's path to me. So then the fire traps here do nothing. Maybe I shouldn't come back to this right now. Maybe I should go somewhere else and, like, just not worry about this challenge for the moment. I guess that's reasonable. I can't restore to a place where I've cleared this room, can I? Dang it. Okay, so what did I do for that exactly? I put this here, put this here. Okay, well then let's just commit to this. Let's get it. Let's figure this out. So, knowing that a guard who doesn't have a brained path to be through is still smart enough not to step in an active fire trap means that if I'm turning these on before the guard is released, which I'm pretty sure I want to, I cannot use the fire trap as a guard killing mechanism. So that's just out of the question. So it has to be the briar or the hot tile. Waiting long enough for him to get to the hot tiles Now hold on. Okay, so observe something. So if I put my fire traps here instead of up there... I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can make this path more appealing than these without putting fire traps in every one of these. Like, if I could do this... I feel like there's one of these that must be different somehow that I can use briars to block. If I could just place 6 fire traps in all of these spots, turn them on, and step here, dance back and forth for a moment when the guard gets close, everything would solve itself. Like, this one fire trap shortage is the only issue here. So could I do something with fire traps keeping briars pruned and like... If I can never step on these, then that implies that I have to keep the path from here to here clear. And there's nothing I can do to remove briars once they're there. So if I'm using briars for blockage, I cannot block this entire path. So if I'm using them, then they'll need to be up in this area somewhere. But the guard's going to want to step on those. So then that implies that the path... Okay, path from here to here has to be open. Path from here to here also has to be open. So I can't block anything except these little narrow ones, and I'm 1 fire trap short. So I have to do something clever to block these while being 1 fire trap short. Okay. See, if I wanted to block these with briars, then I could. See, I could do something like this. Use the fire trap to keep them pruned. Although that could grow through there if I wanted it to. But then I've already spent a fire trap there, so there's no point in putting a briar there. Man, I have gone down like every possible dead end of this room, and it hasn't led me to the correct solution yet. I got one weird super jank one that just feels like completely, really the wrong way to do it. I think it's time to start looking at demos. Disoriented, show me how you do it. At the very least, give me an idea of what I can do better. Okay, so those 5, and then a briar there, and then you, what, erase it? Okay, so in essence that's the same as my solution. Yeah, okay, so you race it, and you win the race. Okay, so that's a not honestly that much cleaner way to do what I did. Okay, I guess I did it right. Well, that makes me uncomfortable because that was super messy. Oh boy. I really want to get this, but I'm not getting anywhere. Should I just leave it? I'm gonna give myself a moment to think and see if I come up with anything brilliant. So just as an experiment, what happens if I kill myself with that fire trap again? If I place a briar seed on an active fire trap, nothing. It doesn't even go. Okay, so what happens if I... Yeah, okay, so here's a thing that I can definitely do. So I'm going to place a fire trap, just waste the others, placing in the same spots. I'm gonna put a briar seed there, get that back, and I can kill the briar roots. That's interesting, so I can actually stop briar growth. Yeah, that's it. That's what you have to do. I can stop briar growth like that. Yeah, and I could like carve myself a path. Oh, this could work. Okay, so So, okay. How am I going to do this? I have to place... I have to use fewer fire traps. Okay, hang on. Let me just experiment for a moment. I'm gonna waste all my fire traps there. Ideally, I'd want that to be close to a token. Okay, so let's see. So, Briar Root goes there. That's too far away. This doesn't do what I want. Well, now hang on. So let's say I... no, that's no good. You can kind of see what I'm going for. I want the briars to grow in such a way that they block these, then use the fire traps to destroy the briar roots to stop the growth, and be able to do what I want to do. That won't help me not press these, because I still need the path open all the way from there to there. And briars just fill too much space to have them, like, grow in here and here, and here and here from the same root. Is that true? Yeah, pretty much. Let me just look at some briar placements. So, could I make this a briar race? I mean, that just goes way too fast, obviously. So the fire trap trick isn't going to help me with that. What if... path to be through gets broken at a certain... I don't know here. I think I stumbled upon something good, but I don't see how to apply it yet. Okay, another bit of information I need. I think I saw that if the briars kill the guards, the fire traps turn off after that, because that counts as basically being like a sword stab, right? Yes, so fire traps do turn off after briar stabs guard. Okay, so that opens up ways of thinking that allow me to block paths with active fire traps, and Beathros still be able to walk back over them after the guard has died to briars. But boy, this is complicated. Okay, pretty sure I have something, just had to stare at that for a couple of minutes. Let's see if this can work. So I'm going to place fire traps. Yeah. This looks like it is set up to work this way. So these three, and then here and here. This will make sense in a moment. So I'm going to step here with briar seeds in my hand, switch to fire traps, activate. There we go. So I have this path blocked off, this path blocked off, this path blocked off. Then from the guard's perspective, all of these paths blocked off. So he will have to go here and he'll die on the hot tiles. And... oh, but those fire traps are going to stay on, aren't they? So I want my sword to kill the guard? Well, let's see what this does. This will at least bring the guard to me. I don't think those fire traps are going to turn off in this configuration, is the problem. Yeah, fire traps are still going and I can't stop them. Okay, so I need my sword to stay there. Okay, well, I can do that. I can totally do that. Okay, so fire traps. Can I do that? Because I need to switch from briars to fire traps kind of quick. Wait, no, hang on. So fire traps still have to be there. Where exactly? They could be here and here. Ah, but the problem is how quickly after that I have to activate. Wait, hang on. So if I leave the fire here, But then I have to leave the sword there. No, no. I need all three weapons real close to each other is the problem here. I have that much time for that. Okay, so yeah, again, if I had my sword, and I don't know if I could even stab the guard there. I probably could. If he's coming at me with his sword facing west, and I'm standing here with my sword facing east, then he's going to walk straight, then sidestep there, then I can stab him. And that would be fine. That would be a stab, that would turn off the fire traps, and I could get out, but I would need to have my sword out there. I can't really do this from another position, can I? Man, it seemed like such a good idea, but I just don't get all my tools, and I can't just leave my sword over here. This is where the token is. Token's stuck there. It'd be great to leave it there, but I can't. Unless there's some other clever layout I can use with this that would let me destroy the briar root and still keep my stuff. Maybe there is? Okay. But so I'd have to be able to race. Okay, so let me just look at some briar stuff here. So if I'd plant a briar root there, it would have to grow already that much, and there's no way that 2 fire traps are going to help me get through there. No, it seemed pretty specific. Like it would need to be exactly like I did it there. It looked so good, but I can't turn off the fire traps. I don't have my sword to do that. Man, this is a tough one. Well, alright. I stared at this for a long time and tried lots of different patterns. Eventually I decided to go and watch the author's demo just to see how he did it. And it turns out that I was on the right track, I just didn't quite do things in exactly the right place. The magic spot apparently is there, so I'm going to leave my fire here. I was thinking of doing path lengthening technique sorts of things. I didn't think of doing quite this sort of layout. So what this does is it creates a bottleneck for the guard. He has to end up on this tile. From this tile, this spot is closer going to the south than going around this way. I didn't quite think of this exact pattern for that, like extending this sort of wall downward. I thought of ways to get him to step in this spot. But from here, if there aren't any other obstacles there, going across one of these is still quicker than going down here. But this allows the most optimal path for the guard. I don't even need my sword for this. This allows the most optimal path for the guard to be straight to me, while leaving things still open. So this is how this works. Okay, that's how that works. There we go, that's how you do the challenge. Couldn't work it out on my own, I got kinda close. Ugh. Why are you even here, Half? Alright. Okay, so are you sure this is a 7-brain entry? This feels kinda 8-ish to me so far, but maybe that's just the particular rooms I happen to step into. I mean, this one was simple enough, just this was really hard, with and without the challenge. Okay, so level seems cool, just kinda demanding. I'll see you next time for more of it.